This man saved a crocodile from dying. Years later, the unexpected happened. Some of the most dangerous animals on Earth are found in the water. Most have powerful jaws and attack lightning fast, which is why fishermen normally stay far out of their way. Ambo was like most fishermen. He led a quiet life. But all that changed one day after a close encounter with a vicious animal at sea. Ambo was from Calimatin and had spent half of his life in the water. He owned an old wooden fishing boat that he took out to sea early each morning, catching fish to sell at the market by the docks. Ambo had been working hard to support his newborn son, Booty. Every boatload of fish helped him pay for Booty's elementary school education. He didn't want Booty to become a fisherman like he had when he was young. Ambo worked alone. He had to prepare the bait and the fishing lines and get his boat out to sea each morning, which was no easy task. He lived next to the river and kept his small boat close by. So each day, he had to navigate through a narrow river for 10 minutes until it flowed into a calm part of the sea. On one quiet morning, as the sun was still hiding behind the horizon, Ambo paddled to one of his favorite spots at the sea. He liked being there before any of the other fishermen arrived. But if he had known what was waiting for him in the water that day, he might never have gotten into his boat in the first place. Ambo had grown up on the Benton Islands, which had transformed into a small city over his life. When he was still a boy, he and his father would sit in their boat for hours without seeing another soul. Now he could see big boats in the distance, shipping coal and materials to the island. It meant more money for the local economy, but also more pollution in the river. A lot had changed, but he tried not to let it bother him. Ambo still felt connected to his hometown through the fish and animals in the sea. Even on his days off, he would go swimming near the reef, looking for new fish. He found that the most surprising animals appeared when he least expected them. After Ambo stopped his boat and set up his fishing line, he was ready to put his feet up and watch the sun rise. But he didn't have much time to relax. Something in the water was about to change his life. One of his fishing lines suddenly jolted to the left. Ambo peered over the side of the boat and thought it must have been a big fish. But he saw the shadow of something pass under the boat, too pointy and large for a fish. As the shadow tugged on the fishing line, it pulled the fishing rod into the water. Ambo was too slow to react and couldn't grab it in time. His boat was rocking from side to side, and he tried to steady it. Just then, a massive green body lunged out of the water in between the splashes. Ambo saw the jagged, pointy teeth and the sharp skin. He realized it was a crocodile. He had seen crocodiles before in shallow water, but never this far out from the swamp. Ambo also noticed that it wasn't a fully grown crocodile, maybe about 3 feet or 1 meter long. As it twisted and turned in the water, he could see a big plastic bag caught in its mouth. The crocodile looked like it was choking as it tried to snap its jaw open. Without thinking, Ambo jumped on top of the dangerous crocodile and started pulling its mouth open with his hands. The two went above and below the water as the small fisherman wrestled with the predator. But years of pulling his boat out to the river had made Ambo strong. After just a few seconds, he was able to pull the plastic out from the crocodile's mouth, saving the animal from certain death. Then he pushed the crocodile away with his feet, giving himself just enough time to swim back to the boat. The crocodile turned to face Ambo, and they both froze for a moment. The animal quickly swam off into the distance. Ambo climbed back into his boat, wrung out his wet clothes, and couldn't believe what had just happened. His adrenaline was pumping, and he took some time to calm down. But the day wasn't over, and it was about to get even more bizarre. A little later, as Ambo was heading back to the river, he heard splashing behind his boat. He looked back, and to his surprise, there was the crocodile again. Ambo didn't know if he was in danger or not, so he sped up. But the crocodile quickly caught up to him and swam beside the boat. Slowly, she nudged the boat softly, and Ambo realized that she might be trying to play with him. So, Ambo threw her one of the fish that he had caught earlier. The crocodile snapped it up and swam next to the boat all the way until Ambo arrived near his house. His wife happened to be near the river and yelled out to him in a panic, "Watch out, there's a crocodile right there." But Ambo assured her that it was okay. She didn't believe him until he parked the boat and the crocodile gently swam up to her. Ambo handed her another fish, and this time they were almost touching. After a little more swimming around in the river, the crocodile left. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but the story wasn't over quite yet. After a few years of silence, Ambo's wife had some great news. He had taken his son on a fishing trip out of town. When his wife called him, she told him that something amazing had happened. That crocodile from years ago had returned, and she seemed to be looking for Ambo. Since he wasn't there, his wife fed the crocodile, as did their neighbors, who had heard the story all those years ago. Then, the following day, Ambo returned home to find the crocodile there again. They greeted each other in a shallow part of the river, and the crocodile let Ambo come up close. The crocodile wasn't as small as he had remembered. She had grown into a full-sized crocodile, spanning 23 feet or 7 meters from head to tail. But something that had never changed was her affection for Ambo. The animal remembered him saving her life that day all those years ago. Ever since her return, Ambo had named the crocodile Riska. She would swim up to the house, looking for him and something to eat, of course. But when she didn't appear, Ambo did the most unexpected thing. He took out his boat and went looking for her in the river, just like any pet owner would do if their pet dog or cat went missing. He roamed the river until he found her. When he did, he fed her, sometimes fish, or even 3 chickens at once. Once she was satisfied, she swam away. This made Ambo happy, and he never forgot to feed his friend. Even if Ambo went out of town for work, he would arrange for neighbors or friends of his to drop by and give the crocodile something to eat. This way, she would never go hungry, even if Ambo wasn't there to take care of her personally. Over the years, Ambo's son, Booty, grew attached to the crocodile too. One of his favorite things to do was to feed the crocodile with his father. Riska liked fish, but on special occasions, chicken or beef was on her menu. The crocodile's story motivated Booty to make a change. He started cleaning up the plastic in the river every week and dreamed of becoming a politician to stop pollution from the nearby shipping town. Riska kept visiting Ambo's home for the next 20 years. Sometimes, she followed his boat back through the river, just like she did that first day. Whenever the crocodile was injured, Ambo would try his best to make her better. He even called the vet down to the river one day, who was too scared to get close, but told Ambo what to do and gave him some medicine. No one believed that a crocodile could trust a person, let alone this much. But Ambo's friendship with Riska had proven them wrong.